Okay, so we're finally at the point where we're ready to put the head gasket on. I've actually cleaned and degreased these surfaces where the gasket will go. I've given it another spray brake cleaner to remove any dirt, and off camera I'm going to give a brake cleaner blast on this as well and let it air dry just to get all this packing dust and dirt off it, and then the gasket will go on this way or something like that. Gasket on, set the head on, and then you apply a film of oil to the head studs and they go through the head and into the block, and then you torque it down in 2 sequences. I've got it on my laptop and I'll take you through it, but there's a very specific sequence for the head studs. So we'll get the gasket cleaned up, we'll get it in place, we'll give the head surface a final clean and prep, and then we'll set it on top of the gasket and put the head bolts in, and hopefully that's us ready to torque the head down. Okay, so here's the gasket on, and you can see the multi-layers. It's facing forward of the engine, so that means the crankshaft is at the back here, this is pointing forward, and it can only fit on one way with this locating dial and your ports here. Everything's good, and there's the arrow to point forward. All the head stud holes are able to let the bolts pass, so we're all good. That's really it. Now we just polish off the bottom of the head, make sure there's no dirt or anything, hit it with some brake cleaner and put it in place, and then we're ready to torque it down. Okay, so hopefully what you could see from the time lapse was I tightened them down by hand, each bolt. So just went in roughly out of sequence, tightened them so that they were actually just flush against the washer with no stress on them. Then I came back, set up the torque wrench, did each one in sequence. After that I came back and did the 90-degree turn on each one in the same sequence. And in between, you could see me painting a small white mark on, as the manual said. So the mark started here, you twist it 90 degrees and it ends up here. All of them, I mean, it doesn't really matter where you put the mark as long as you're twisting it 90 degrees. But that's it, basically ready. That's the head torqued to spec. All the shims are in place, everything's ready. What I'll do later, I'll cover this with the sheet now. Take a break, and in the next scene, the next video, I'll come back and we'll do the camshaft install. So we'll clean all of these bearing surfaces, all of this. This is actually where your distributor goes in. There's no ring here and the cap at the end, as it connects on to the other end of the camshaft, so it can actually turn in time with the cam, which is timed off the forward part of the engine. So that's how you get your ignition timing, the distributor cap rotating here. And then this sends the firing order to each cylinder, and then that's where the magic happens. So that's it. I'm sure you knew all that, but again, some people don't, so I'm trying to keep this video pretty general, more of just an interesting point on the rebuild and some things worth looking out for. Also remember to take all your rags out, so that's one thing. So here we go on the camshaft install after bolting the head bolts down. So what I've done is, on this camshaft that I've just set in, I cleaned all the bearing surfaces, basically on this side. Then I gave the camshaft another clean down with brake cleaner, made sure there was zero dirt on it at all, and then coated all of the rotating surfaces with a bit of oil. Put a bit of oil in the bearing cap here and here, and then again, one by one, clean the bearing caps with brake cleaner, make sure they're finally clean, put them all on. Same again, set the camshaft in with oil. Once both are in, we can go through, similar to the head sequence, torquing them up. Once they're all torqued up, then we'll have the O-ring for the distributor, which goes on here, and another cap there, and then we can also start looking at putting the head cover on. So that's it. Okay, so the last thing I did, I've actually checked this off camera, but as you can see, the last sequence I torqued up the cam cap bearings, and I've also poured some lube oil now just over everything, just to give it an extra coating for the first start, so that everything is nice and smooth. Going by this, you also have to check, sorry, page up, you install the camshaft seal, the oil seal, and then after that you check the valve clearance. So as a quick guide, what I've done, I've already checked all these, but you get this feeler gauge, and with the cam you try and slide it in to see if you have max clearance or enough. So this one is 0.25, that's the maximum, that doesn't fit, but we also had a 0.15 which does fit, and you slide it in, it's nice and smooth. And then you can make a mixture of these 2 or 3 feeler gauges together depending on size to go in to actually work out that clearance. Once you go through checking all the cam lobes on everyone, it's a different clearance for the exhaust. You do exactly the same job in here, and that's it. Then you know that once the engine heats up, you've got enough clearance so that you're not going to seize anything, snap it, break the camshafts, because everything warms up to temperature. The clearances change slightly, but you measure them when it's cold, and then you know that once it's heated up, there's still enough clearance so that it operates without being noisy or seizing, and you get a nice smooth running engine without that horrible tinny tappity noise clicking along from the cylinder head. The other thing I did was install the 2 oil seals. So as per the manual, once you've done the head and the caps are on and torqued to spec, you also have a bit of sealant in here. Sealant here, here and here, and then you just get I used the socket and a rubber mallet, put it in place, and then gently tapped it with the socket over here, and that just pushed it in so it's nice and flush. Same again there. And what you do is put a small bit of grease on the inside of the lip seal as well when you're pressing it in. So that's it. Nothing fancy, but it is starting to look like an engine, which is nice. I think the next stage now, I'll go and check the manual, but it's to put the actual cover on soon, or sorry, the timing belt, this metal cover, you put this over, and then we can go and put the head cover on. So this is what it looks like. Now I've just put on the water pump. I think it was 8.8 Newton meters, the 2 torques, plus you have to remember to put the new O-ring in there against the block and the water pump. So that's the final bit, and then if you trace the water pump, here's the housing, the pump, thermostat housing, and then here's the dreaded coolant hoses running across, and they sort of look like this roughly. I can maneuver them in shape later as needed, but for now the ends are on tight. I can always change it. The back of the engine, like I've mentioned before, this is the bit where we talk about the hoses from hell, because your exhaust manifold is running here and your turbo sits right here, so there's no chance of replacing these hoses. It sort of connects like a U-shape here to here and one here to here, and these are a real nightmare. It's an engine out job, so if you do go this far, just change them for the sake of 20 quid. It's going to cost you probably a couple of grand in labour if you don't. So yeah, that's pretty much it. At the moment I've put these 2 funny looking bolts in with the spacer, and these are actually, when the head cover goes on, these will be for securing the manifold where your throttle would sit here and the intercooler's on top. These will actually act as like a securing bolt just to hold the manifold from wiggling at the throttle. So remember to put those on before the head cover, makes it a lot easier. So now I just have to check the manual. There's some bits of sealant. It says packing, but it's basically 3 bond sealant on here, this area, a couple of areas I think, probably at the back too. But what I'll do, I've actually got from the OEM gasket kit, I put the new gasket on the whole way around, and this is all one piece, this part. So you just press it in gently, make sure it's into the groove everywhere. Same again with the center section, press it gently into the groove, and that's you. And then the other thing is, from the engine gasket set, these also come, these washers, and these are for the rocker cover head bolts. So whoops, there we go. So really make sure you have everything in place first, and then double check once you're happy you've got all the parts, because you don't want to put sealant on and you try and fit everything and it starts to dry and you can't find gaskets or bolts. So basically anytime you're doing sealant, just prepare in advance, get the job ready, have every gaskets pre-installed, and then you're good to go. So for now, I'm just going to go stop the camera, because obviously you need both hands, and I will check the torque specs, get the cover on, and then torque it up, and that's it. And then probably just out of choice, I might do this final cap as well. There's an O-ring for the distributor. Your distributor sits here, but that's separate. That's not actually part of the rocker cover. And then it'll be the hoses from hell, and after those are on, we'll probably look at the exhaust manifold next, but I'll have a bit of a think. So making good progress today. So I'm just about to put the cover on, and here's the cap for the distributor, and this will sit here. But you've actually to put some sealant in this area. Now this is why distributors leak, because you can get oil passing through here, and this O-ring fails, and it passes out, dribbles down, and all down around your flywheel. So I think now we're finally good to go. It was actually easier just to give the quick clean to the distributor, and as it passes through the cap, it comes in and connects to the camshaft. So we'll check all this in the timing later, but for now, to get the cap on, get the sealant on, I'm just putting these bolts in very loosely so that the distributor can be pulled out again. But for now, yeah, time to get the head cover on. Okay, so I've been going around things a bit differently, I think, from the manual, but what I found was it was easier to slacken off the 2 bolts on the water pump, and this would free up this and all the pipe work to allow you to install the hose from hell, because it actually overlaps both hoses, and the gap in between isn't enough to push it down, so you need all these water pipes loose so you can get it on the top and then wiggle it onto the bottom. And here you can see I put some new stainless hose clamps on this other hose from hell, going up into the water cooler, the bypass and the thermostat. So really that's what it looks like before the oil filter goes on. Now at the start I had broken one stud, exhaust stud. I've got a new one, but I'm just struggling to get this out, so that's the next challenge before the exhaust and turbo can go back on. But apart from that, it's looking quite good. I've just hung these for keep them out of the way. There's a distributor on quite loose, the caps. What I've done is I followed the guidelines for sealant. You only put a small bit of sealant here and here, and also in here, here, here and here, but the rest of it, that's why you have washers and gasket. You don't need to plaster all of this in sealant, because that's the point of torquing these bolts to 2.5 Newton meters, and that'll actually create the rubber gasket seal. So over time, that's why your head can leak, because the seal wears out. But on the spare head, what I'd found was it was caked in sealant apart from the gasket. It's just sealant everywhere, and unless you're careful putting the engine back together, you can end up getting sealant in your oil galleries and eventually blocking the engine, so the flow, so it's really not a good idea. Here's the other side of the engine, the head on. I need to connect one coolant hose here. I can't remember what these other ones do for now. And here's your fuel system hoses, which are slack. So it is starting to come together. It's taking shape nicely, but I think I'm going to leave it for there for now. And then the next job will be the timing gear, putting that back on, crankshaft pulley, the new timing belt, which is over there in the box, and all the other ancillary bits. But for now, that's the bare bones of the block and a couple of extras. So that's what the timing gear looks like with all new seals. And at least now the engine's kind of airtight. I can leave it and take a break now. I'm going to put some rags in the spark plug hole so I don't get any dirt or dust in there, and also block up, cover the oil cooler hose and the turbo hose. So just anything that you're leaving for a while, you don't want spiders, whatever, dust getting in there. Block up all the ports and holes that you want to protect for a while.